So I don't even really know what I'm doing. First of all, let me apologize for the way that my voice sounds. Again, I still don't really know what happened, but it's getting better. I was gonna wait to do this little thing that I'm doing until my voice was better, but it's just not going away fast enough, and I want to do this now. Basically, this is going to be a little bit different than any of the other videos that I've made. Normally my videos are about me and my friends, like doing fun things. That's what all of them have been. But something in my life is about to change very drastically, and I wanted to kind of do this vlog series, just about my feelings and what I'm doing during this time. This next semester, I'm going to be studying abroad. I'm going to be in Birmingham, England for almost 5 months. I leave in 16 days, January 5th, and I will be there until June 21st, which is a very long time. And I'm super excited, and I know it's going to be one of the best things I've ever done, but I'm also really freaking scared. This is a really big change for me, and I don't always do super well with change. But basically, I wanted to kind of do this vlog series, like a video diary of me talking to whoever is watching this about how I'm feeling. Because I kind of do this anyways when I'm stressed out or when I'm feeling things. I talk to myself, pretend that I'm either talking to a specific person, or I'll imagine that I'm on a talk show years in the future. I don't know, it's stupid, but I kind of thought that maybe this would be a good way for me to diary about it rather than actually journaling, because I know I'll be terrible at that. And hopefully eventually this will turn into a really cool thing, or it's a memory video, something that I can look back on and see what a great time I had. But right now it's more about me having a place to get out all of my anxieties and having a form of comfort, because I'm going to be there all by myself, completely. I kind of vaguely know one person who goes to that school who transferred to my school for a semester, and he's already been super nice and has offered to pick me up from the airport when I get there. I just want this to be something where I can be super honest. I don't even know who I make these videos for. I barely even show them to people. I show them to my friends who are in them just because they're funny. I might just be talking to myself in the future, which is cool too. It's comforting to imagine that there's someone I can talk to who just listens, who won't say anything, who won't try and comfort me, who's just there to listen to how I feel. So that's kind of why I'm doing this and what I'm treating this as. Here's the thing is that everyone keeps asking oh, you must be so excited. You must be just out of your mind excited, which I am. Right now, the main feeling that I feel is complete fear. I have never been out of the country, and I haven't really been by myself a lot. And I say that and I think about it. I've done something like this once before when I went to college. I'm from Kansas, and I went to go to school in New Orleans, which is a 13-hour drive. So when I first went to school, I was very far away. I didn't know anybody in New Orleans. I didn't even know anyone in Louisiana, and it was really, really hard. For the first 3 months, I was so miserable because I was so lonely, and I had such a hard time meeting people. I don't like meeting new people very much because I don't know how to talk to them. I tend to be really, really quiet. I don't really talk to people unless they talk to me first. So I'm really scared about that. I still get really homesick when I'm at school. And I think a lot of it is just because I've learned to really appreciate my parents and my family, and I really love the time that I get to spend with them. And so it's gonna be really hard to be away from them for 5 months, because it's hard when I'm at school, and at school I get to come home every now and then, every 2 or 3 months. And it's just gonna be a lot of me being alone for a while. I know I'll make friends eventually. I'm not sitting here thinking that I'm gonna spend an entire 5 months completely by myself. Like, I'm not incapable of making friends, and I'll do it, and it'll be great, and when I leave, it'll be hard because I won't want to say goodbye to the friends that I've made. But I'm anticipating a large portion of time where I'm lonely and I'm scared and where I don't know what to do with myself. But despite the fact that I am so utterly terrified, that's the whole reason I'm pushing myself to do this. I thought about all the things that I've just said about all the anxieties and the scary things, and I said, well, I could not do it and not have to deal with those things. But there was kind of just like this feeling in my gut that was like, you need to do this. Because you're scared. Because it's something that terrifies you. I need to be pushed out of my box a little bit. Moving to New Orleans was like the first step of becoming a more independent individual person. But now this is really the next step. I will really have to push myself to be social and to not hole up in my room because I'm scared. I just depend on people in a lot of ways. And now I need to depend on myself. I feel like this is like the first step to me really becoming like a real adult. So this is like something I need to do to force myself to grow. And that's why I'm doing it. I'm hoping I come back feeling really comfortable with myself. That's been a journey, just my whole life, ever since high school. Just like learning to love myself and be comfortable with who I am. And I'm hoping that this trip like reinforces the things that I've been starting to learn. Those are like my first thoughts on what it's gonna be like. Just know that if you're watching this, if anyone's watching this, or myself, this is gonna be like a very real, or at least that's what I'm hoping, it'll be a very real sort of series of videos where I'm just talking about my feelings and being honest, and I'm excited, terrified, but I know that it'll be one of the best things I ever do in my life. So it is about 11 o'clock on Christmas night, and I'm freaking out. So I'm freaking out because I kind of feel like Christmas was like the marker for when it was time to start like packing and really getting ready to go abroad. And so now Christmas is done and I leave in just over a week. I think it's 10 days today. And that doesn't feel like enough time. I don't have a suitcase. I don't have anything packed, obviously. I don't know what I'm packing. I haven't like started thinking about what stays and what goes. This is not the most flattering of angles to be at. I keep double chinning, but that's fine. That's like really stressing me out. And I am like super, super, super stressed out about leaving my family. I really love being at home. Sometimes that makes me feel kind of weird because I'm like, I'm a 20-year-old person. I should be okay being away from home and not being around my parents all the time. But since going to college, actually, my desire to be home with my parents has increased a lot. And like that makes me feel like a baby because I should be at a point where I'm fine living without them. I don't know, I feel like part of my problem is that I don't really have a sense of like a home other than my parents' home. Like I have a lot of friends who have sort of like wherever they've moved to is like their home, and when they come back for the holidays or whatever, it's like they're just visiting their parents' house, and it's like, wow, it's like that's like what adults do. I don't know, I just have a lot of feelings about leaving because I know it's gonna be so cool and I'm so excited, but there's a part of me that wishes I wasn't leaving, if I'm being But it also, like, I don't wish that I was going back to school. I kind of just wish that I was staying here. And, like, that doesn't feel like a healthy mindset to me. So I guess it's good that I kind of have to leave. But yeah, I'm, like, freaked out. And now I'm going to go watch Steven Universe to make myself feel better.
So another little bedtime update, which I'm filming this on photo booth on my computer because tonight I really just don't feel like dealing with getting footage from my phone to my computer, so it probably looks and sounds really shitty. But we're getting a lot closer to the day. It is, let me see here, it is December 29th, which means that we are 6 days away from leaving, which is really scary. The last time I was talking to you guys, I was literally crying because I was so scared and freaked out and having so many feelings. But we're getting better from there. We're still freaked out, but we're not mental breakdown freaking out. So I just got back from a little outing with my cousin, and she just recently went and studied in London. And so tonight we went out to a little bar, and she just kind of gave me some tidbits of advice and things like that. And she gave me this really sweet gift of, it's like a journal where she filled out, I haven't read it all yet, actually I haven't read any of it, but she put like things to do or advice or whatever, like as she was going, which is really sweet. So then after that, the rest of the journal is blank so that I can kind of fill it with my adventures. I also, out of the blue, got a text from my friend at school, Shelby. I don't know if she'll ever see this, but if she does, it really like made my night. She just texted me and said like, hey, how are you? Like, you're getting so close to when you leave. I'm like so excited to hear all about your adventures. She's like, I'm sad that I won't get to see you and I'm gonna miss you, but I'm so excited for you. And we just chatted for a while, and talking to her made me feel a lot better. I told her this when I was leaving at the end of the semester, and I don't know how much she believed it. She probably thought I said this to everyone, but I told her in this note that I wrote her that for whatever reason, saying goodbye to her was like harder than saying goodbye to anyone. I don't know, she just has an ability of saying things that I need to hear and making me feel really good about myself and encouraging me in a way that I don't think a lot of people have, at least not at school. So it was really nice to hear from her, and it sort of gave me a little bit of confidence. Something else that has been helping me, and this one is really silly, but I am someone who hyperfixates on things. I do it all the time. I always have. My mom comments about it all the time. How I go through like obsessions, like really hardcore obsessions with like one thing for a little while, and then I'll like move on. And she's just kind of learned to accept it, that like whatever the thing is, like I will not stop talking about it, especially to her, for like a month or whatever. But I've noticed that it's also a way that I deal with anxiety and stress is hyperfixation, and I do this thing where I not only hyperfixate on a thing, but I'll focus in on a character from whatever the thing is and kind of create a role model out of that thing. And so as I'm preparing for this trip, I've sort of been leaning on Mary Poppins. The new one just came out, and I just saw it the other day and really, really loved it. And Mary Poppins has always been something that I love. But with the new one out, it's like fresh in my brain, and there's all of this new stuff for me to look into and watch and obsess over. And I've been really like honing in on the character herself. And what I kind of do, I did this when I first went to college too, and it was at that time with Morticia Adams. And so I try and picture what it is that they would do in that moment. You know, if it's that I'm out in a social situation where I'm feeling a lot of anxiety, I just try and imagine what they would do. And it usually either gives me the confidence to say like, talk to someone, or the security in myself to just know that it's okay to be alone and that I don't have to be talking to everybody, that it's okay to just be by myself. And, it's not like a perfect fix, it doesn't rid me of all of my anxieties or solve all my problems, but it has been helping, in the moments where I'm feeling a lot of anxiety or getting really scared about this trip I'm about to go on, this new step in my life. I just sort of imagine Mary Poppins standing behind me, giving me a little nudge and telling me that, I'm on the brink of an adventure and anything is possible, and to just stand up straight and do it. And it's fitting too that, I'm going to England. That's how I've been kind of dealing. I still don't have anything packed, and as odd as this sounds, I'm really glad that I'm not going back to Loyola right now. And there's no particular reason for that. There's nothing wrong at Loyola. In fact, this next semester is probably going to be really great. There are a lot of changes happening that are good changes. And I miss all of my friends so dearly and wish that I could see them. So it's nothing like that. It's just when I think about where I want to be in the world right now, at this moment, it's not Loyola. And it's not because I don't love Loyola, I really do. And when it's time for me to come back, I think I'll be really happy to be there. But I think I'm in need of something different right now. I think what stresses me out the most right now is that I just feel like there's no time for anything. Not enough time to see people, not enough time to get things done. And there will just never be enough time in the world to be with my family. And I don't think that'll ever change. Even when I'm, a full adult living somewhere else, I don't think I'll ever get enough time with my family. But yeah, just 6 days.
Oh, this is super random and I'm a mess. It's New Year's Eve day and I'm driving. I was listening to the Mary Poppins soundtrack and I just started crying from joy. I've been doing a lot of crying from stress and sadness recently, but I just started crying because one of the lines that Lin-Manuel Miranda's character sings is, "I once looked above, now I am part of the lovely London sky," and I just thought about the fact that I've dreamt about going to England since I was a little kid, and now I'm really gonna be there, and I get to live there for a whole 5 months. And I'm still so scared, but I'm also so excited. Everything is making me cry, but I just had to share because everything up to this point has kind of seemed like gloom and doom, but I'm really excited. I also look like shit, it's fine. I just got done with a rehearsal, whatever. Today's the day. I don't have to leave until 1:30. My flight isn't until 3:30, so kind of just enjoying the last night that I'll be in my bed for a little while. It's the last morning with my puppy.
Oh, that's awfully cute.
I just landed in Detroit and I'm on my way to board my plane to go to Paris. So that's crazy. This whole day has just sort of felt like a weird blur, packing and driving to the airport and all that stuff. And saying goodbye was hard and everything, but I haven't been as nervous as I thought I would be. And this whole time I've sort of just been keeping in mind some advice that my friend gave me. She said, just break it down into all the little pieces. There's nothing scary about packing a suitcase or driving to the airport or getting on an airplane, for me at least. So, I don't know, it's really exciting. So here we go. Future. Sorry, it looks like there's a bug on my floor. Oh, there totally is. That's disgusting.